now call this meeting of the Atlantic County Board of Commissioners to order. In compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act of the State of New Jersey, adequate notice of this meeting of the Atlantic County Board of Commissioners was provided in the following manner. Published in the press of Atlantic City and mailed to the Current and the Hamilton Gazette, and has been posted on the bulletin boards in the county office building in Atlantic City, the Stillwater building in Northfield, and the county clerk's office in Mays Landing. We'll now have the prayer.
Our Heavenly Father, we pray for the strength and courage to work for a world of peace and understanding, for new visions and truth, and a new service to our fellow man. Grant unto all assembled here health and happiness, and let thy blessings rest upon us. Amen.
Amen. Please rise for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Chairman, I failed to ask before we did the prayer that we have a moment of silence for former Atlantic City police officer Dennis Mason, who is also a council member and worked at CRDA.
Yeah.
So I think his services is marked, but outstanding guy in the community, and we certainly send our prayers and thoughts to him.
I'm glad you mentioned it. Thank you. We'll have a moment of silence, please. Thank you. Okay, first order of business is the minutes from January 17th. Everyone was furnished with a copy.
Roll call.
I'm sorry, roll call. Roll call.
Chairman, Commissioner Kern is unable to attend today. Ballas.
Here.
Bertino.
Here.
Corsi.
Yes.
Bays.
Here.
Fitzpatrick. Here. Gatto.
Here.
Parker.
Present.
Grizzly.
Here. Okay. The minutes of January the 17th. Chair will entertain a motion to adopt them.
Motion.
Thank you. Is there a second? Any discussion on the minutes? Any amendments, corrections? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I have to abstain.
Okay, one abstention. So noted. Okay. Regarding public comment, anyone in person that would like to speak during public comments, please come to the podium. State your name and the town you reside. You will be provided up to 3 minutes to speak. If you are attending virtually, please type yes and the resolution number in the question and answer box. Any items not on the agenda, you may speak during public comments. You will be raised from an attendee to a panelist. When you're raised, please state your name and the town you reside in. Madam Clerk, then will you please read ordinance number 1?
Ordinance amending County Code Chapter 97 entitled Parks concerning John F. Gaffney Green Tree Golf Course, first reading.
Motion.
Second. Moved by Gatto and seconded by Days. Any discussion?
Mr. Chair. Go ahead.
Mr. Chair.
Go ahead.
The County Code Committee did meet to discuss this ordinance. It only pertains to an increase in some of the usage fees for the course due to an increased cost of doing business for employee salaries and maintenance and other products that they need to purchase. So they're asking for a small increase, an average of $2 to $3, so as to not pass this on to the rest of the county taxpayers. And it's definitely in line with what other counties and the other courses are doing.
Commissioner Gatto, you want that?
That's
That kind of
Days
covers it.
covered it, yeah. And we covered it in budget
Yes, we did.
as well. And I think the key is that not only are we in line, but we're still lower than most. And we want to make sure. I think last year the stat we were given was that we were 4 or 5% above the prior year in terms of business, and we want to maintain that trend because the trend in other courses has been that they actually dipped below last year's usage rates. So we want to maintain that trend, but we also have to keep up with our costs.
Thank you. Any other discussion? If not, roll call, please.
Ballas.
Yes.
Bertino.
Yes.
Corsi.
Yes.
Days.
Yes.
Fitzpatrick.
Yes.
Gatto.
Yes.
Parker.
Yes.
Grizzly.
Yes. Motion ordinance passes on first reading. Madam Clerk, please read number 44.
Amending Resolution Number 449 adopted on August 16, 2022, a grant application to the New Jersey Juvenile Justice Commission for innovations funding to include the grant number, no additional cost.
Move.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Corsi, second by Commissioner Gatto. Discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Corsi?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley?
Yes.
Mr. Chair, I don't think we opened it to the public.
Yeah, I heard you. All right. And number 45, please.
Grant application and acceptance from the State of New Jersey Juvenile Justice Commission for State Community Partnership Grant and Family Court Services Grant funding, amount not to exceed $654,836.
Move.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Corsi, second by Commissioner Gatto. Discussion? Any public comment? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Corsi?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley?
Yes. Please read number 46.
Grant application and acceptance from the Schools and Libraries Division of the Universal Service Administrative Company for the E-rate program, amount not to exceed $211,800.
Move.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Corsi, second by Commissioner Gatto. Discussion?
I have a question, if I
Go ahead,
could.
fire away.
Jerry, to you, is this money for increasing the hotspots? Is that what we're doing with this money?
It does a number of things. It's presented to the agenda committee yesterday, but it has a number of different functions.
But this is part of the monies that's going to be going
That's correct.
towards increasing those hotspots? Because I know at the library committee meeting, we talked about increasing 10 more hotspots because of our hotspots that we had last year and the success rate that we had with those. And I just wanted to know if that was the money that we were using.
Yes.
Yeah, it also just really helps offset other costs related to providing affordable services. And for us, it is based on the free lunch program percentage.
Right.
And they happen to use the Hamilton Township, so it was actually a decent number for us. So it's a good dollar amount coming to us.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Corsi?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley?
Yes. Resolution number 47, please.
Grant application and acceptance from the New Jersey Office of the Attorney General for the 2023-24 Opt for Help and Hope Grant Program, amount not to exceed $333,333.
Move.
Second.
Okay, moved by Commissioner Corsi, second by Commissioner Gatto. We have our prosecutor here, Mr. Reynolds. Would you like to speak on this one?
Yes.
Thank you for being here.
My pleasure. I'm come over here so I can speak to everyone. First and foremost, thank you so much for allowing me to come before all of you to discuss this grant that's being accepted. I have Captain Paley with me. He's our new office manager. Brian Lee retired, and Mr. Del Rosso knows the office manager position at the prosecutor's office is integral because he is our go-between for funding, budgeting, grants, employment issues, hiring, firing, all that kind of stuff. So Mr. Paley, or Captain Paley, is the new office manager. I wanted to bring him. I also brought Mr. Bergman, who's our first assistant prosecutor, and him and I took this position together. Quite frankly, we have a partnership, and I segue into what this grant is. This grant represents exactly what we want to do in our office, is to give people the opportunity to receive help as opposed to incarcerate people who have either mental health issues or drug addiction issues. This grant was offered before I was actually nominated by the governor. I was fortunate enough to have relationships both at state level and county level where they actually reached out to me saying, hey, if you actually get nominated and confirmed, do you think this is a good idea? Because it involves the municipal court of Atlantic County, which was new, which all of you participated in putting together. So what transpired was the Attorney General's office reached out to our office. I said yes, asked for the application. The day I walked in, we actually filled out the application, and we worked together, the three of us here, in addition to Ray Royster, who's our Director of Community Outreach, and Brian Lee, who's now retired.
And we applied, and what I learned through the application process, that this is a pilot program. It's never happened before. They've never offered social services in municipal court. And what Atlantic County can really be proud of is that not only are we the #1 out of 6 courts that are part of this pilot program, but we're the largest court. We have the most towns in the court, and we're offering the highest amount of volume of services through the municipal court of Atlantic County. This grant runs from March 1st of 23 through February 28th of 25. It's a 2-year grant. I met with County Council Ferguson with my team regarding how should we provide services using this money from this grant. We talked about putting things out to bid, having other outside social services. We agreed, since this was brand new, that the best way to do this was to do it through the sheriff's office with Hope One, because it's another county organization, agency that's funded through the county, and that we would be able to basically act as a flow through from the county prosecutor's office to the county sheriff's office for the sheriff's Hope One project to actually do the outreach. Why this is important is 2 reasons. One is this has never been done before ever in Atlantic County, where this level of services are being offered. I know when Judge Sanson went out with the county to pitch to all the municipalities, they talked about JFS, and JFS got a contract for $250,000, and JFS is offering services where they have a social worker in the courtroom or on Zoom to actually address what people's needs are. What this is going to do, this is going to be a completely different project. This is actually going to have recovery specialists and licensed practical nurses with vehicles to actually go and get people from point A to point B, whether that's treatment, whether that's rehab, whether it's detox, whether that's a doctor's appointment, whether that's their parents' house. Okay, so it is going to be much more robust. It's $333,000 over a 2-year period. I can tell you the Attorney General's office has been in contact with us frequently because they want this to succeed. They want your central municipal court to succeed because this is going to be the standard going forward. This is a pilot. There's only 6 in the whole state. We're the largest with the highest volume. That's why this is important. That's why I'm standing here before you to explain all to everybody in your constituents, because I think if $333,000 in the grand scheme of what your budget is very small, but the services that's going to be providing is huge, because we've discussed with Judge Blee, who's the assignment judge, about actually being able to pull people, we call them consumers in court now, not necessarily defendants, but consumers that have cases in other municipalities that may not be participating in the municipal court of the county, and pull them in if they have a county court case. Example, if somebody has a case in Ventnor, somebody has a case in Absecon, Absecon's not part of the court, we could actually take the Absecon case, bring it to this court because they have a Ventnor case, give this court jurisdiction, and then give those people the help. And the option is accept help or accept prosecution. The way it's going to work, it's a prosecutor-run program. It's not a court-run program. It's not a county-run program. It's a prosecutor-run program. They have us as the supervisor over the municipal prosecutors. The municipal prosecutors are going to have discretion. The judge is not going to be able to blow it up unless there's like real reasons from the police officer to say, hey, this person's not eligible for this program. What's going to happen is the prosecutor is going to say to the judge, we want to put this person in the Opt for Hope and Help grant. We're going to put them on a 6-month turnaround or a 1-year turnaround. If they successfully complete the program that's designed for them through the social services, and the terminology is meaningfully engaged. If they're meaningfully engaged for the period of time prescribed, their entire case can be dismissed. So we're going to reward good behavior, and we're going to not reward bad behavior. And this is going to be the first time ever in the state of New Jersey and the largest in municipal court, and it's going to be Atlantic County. So we are going to be on the forefront. We're going to be pioneers, and we're going to make sure that this is successful. And that's what we felt was most important for the sheriff's office and my office to oversee it, so we can actually keep control over this and keep quality control of what the services are being offered. The only other thing I want to add is I know in the pre-meeting, Captain Pally attended for me. Commissioner Gatto brought up the mental health piece. So I'm going to tell you, this is a blind spot. I did municipal court work for 10 years. Frank and I were in the back room in Pleasantville together many years ago. It's a blind spot on so many levels that people are committing crimes, not because they're bad people, because they're in crisis, right? So one of the things that Judge Blee with our office did is we contacted the AOC, which is the Administrative Office of the Courts. Glenn Grant is the Administrative Director of the Office of the Courts, right? Glenn Grant's wife is a municipal court judge in Newark. Okay, so we were speaking the same language between Judge Blee, Judge Grant, and us. Atlantic County is also going to be a pilot in what is going to appear to be a mental health court. It doesn't exist now in New Jersey. It's a complete blind spot. There are people out there committing crimes who absolutely need mental health assistance, not incarceration. Two examples we know happened here in Atlantic County in the last couple of weeks. The attack on the boardwalk where a woman got hit with bricks, then the incident happened at ShopRite, right? Without getting into details in any of those cases, it's crystal clear based upon what's been reported publicly that both of those people probably in mental health crisis, right? So what do we need to do going forward? The prosecutor's office, the judiciary, the county, we're gonna need to work together to how are we gonna solve that problem? This is a start for municipal court cases where mental health treatment or referrals are gonna be able to happen through this grant.
Yeah.
That's how I wanted to wrap the whole thing up for everybody to understand why this is so important, why we need to do this going forward. I can tell you from a personal standpoint, I did this job for 10 years before I became a county prosecutor. It is rampant through every municipality. It does not discriminate, doesn't care what color you are, what party you are, where you live, what your socioeconomic status is. It is everywhere, and you saw it in neighbor disputes, you saw it in random attacks, you saw it in motor vehicle stops. It's everywhere. It is something that we are going to have to be better together with, and I think this is a start. So if anybody has any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them, but I wanted to personally come before you and explain the significance and importance of this because we are out in front. Atlantic County is out in front, and we are going to continue to remain out in front.
Well, I'm glad you did. I'm glad you're here today to explain, your passion for it and the details of the program because this is what's needed. It's simple as that. It's needed. And we applaud you for heading this up. Anyone have any questions?
Sure. Yeah, Mr. Prosecutor, consumers that are coming from municipalities that do not participate in the countywide
Right.
court system,
Right.
do you see that bogging down the court system?
No, because they're already going to have a central municipal court case. What it's going to do, it's going to expedite the handling of all their matters. So the only way they get to come to the central municipal court is if they have original jurisdiction there. So they would have to have a pending case in Ventnor or Galloway to get to the central municipal court. What we're going to do is hold them accountable and basically give them a greater reward for if they actually provide, meaningfully engaged in good services. So all it is a paper dismissal. If they don't successfully complete the program, their case is going to go back to the original court of jurisdiction. It's just a dangling a carrot. It's the carrot and the stick. Mr. Bergman uses it all the time. The greater the reward, the more likely they are going to be successful to actually complete the services. So,
Okay.
you like that, right?
Thank you again. Excellent.
You got it.
Got it.
All right. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Resolution 47? Not, I'll have the clerk will call the roll. I'm sorry, public comment on it? Hearing none, call the roll.
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Corsi?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Grizzly?
Yes. Madam Clerk, please read number 48.
Amending Resolution Number 690 adopted on December 21, 2021, a professional services agreement with various consultants for the 2022 Engineering and Inspection Services Pool for dam and transportation infrastructure projects to add additional consultants, no additional cost.
Motion.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Gatto, second by Commissioner Dave. Any discussion? This resolution? Any public comment on it? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Corsi?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Grizzly?
Yes. Clerk, please read number 49.
Competitive contract with Monarch Housing for the provision of homeless consultant services, amount not to exceed $40,000.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Gatto, second by Commissioner Corsi. Discussion.
Mr. Chair, just to highlight in our discussion, we did talk about how this contract, they also do a significant amount of grant applications for us in regards to funding some of our homeless services and kind of from an ROI perspective, that 40,000, I think the number was, keep me honest, I think it was around 250,000 or more that we get back in grant funding as a result of their work.
Okay, thank you. Any other discussion? Hearing none, please, public comment? Please call the roll.
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Corsi?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Grizzly?
Yes. Please read number 50.
Competitive contracts with Center for Family Services and Ranch Hope Incorporated for the provision of treatment youth shelter beds, amount not to exceed $110,000.
Moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Ballas, second by Commissioner Corsi. Any discussion? Being no further discussion, any public comment? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Ballas?
Yes.
Martino?
Yes.
Corsi?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley?
Yes. I was just gonna call you Frank. That's what I know you're by.
There you go.
Madam Clerk, please read Resolution 51.
Bid contract with Multi-Temp Mechanical Incorporated for electrical maintenance, repairs, and emergency services on electrical components at the Atlantic County Justice Facility. Amount not to exceed $138,750.
Motion.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Gatto, second by Commissioner Corsi. Any discussion? This is a 2-year contract. Is there any public comment? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Ballas?
Yes.
Martino?
Yes.
Corsi?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley?
Yes. Madam Clerk, please read number 52, a change order.
Change order number 2 and final, a contract with A.E. Stone Incorporated for the resurfacing of Columbia Road, Section 1B and 1C. Net increase $47,210.75.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Gatto, second by Commissioner Ballas. Discussion? This is a 3% change on this change order. Any discussion? Any public comment? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Ballas?
Yes.
Martino?
Yes.
Corsi?
Yes.
Say
Amy
yes.
said yes.
Say yes.
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley?
Yes. Madam Clerk, please read Resolution 53.
Lease agreement with Halawasa Incorporated for the use of facilities to conduct the 48-hour intoxicated driver resource center programs, amount not to exceed $32,250.
Motion.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Gatto, second by Commissioner Corsi. Any discussion? Hearing none. Any public comment? Hearing none. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Ballas?
Yes.
Martino?
Yes.
Corsi?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley?
Yes. Please read number 54.
Amending Resolution Number 195 adopted on April 19, 2022, a contract with Election Systems and Software to program and code the voting machines and poll books. Net increase $100,000.
Motion.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Gatto, second by Commissioner Days. Discussion? Hearing none. Any public comment? Hearing none. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Ballas?
Yes.
Martino?
Yes.
Corsi?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley?
Yes. Please read number 55.
Amending Resolution Number 603 adopted on October 22, 2019, a memorandum of agreement with the South Jersey Transportation Authority for the development of an aviation hub in and around the Atlantic City International Airport, no cost.
Motion.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Gatto, second by Commissioner Days. Discussion? I know I'm excited to see this, this resolution. This puts us another step closer to realizing a maintenance, repair, and overhaul academy here. So this is a wonderful thing for Atlantic County. Atlantic County Economic Alliance is involved with it, Atlantic County Improvement Authority, SJTA. It's the airport. This is a great thing that's coming together for us here in Atlantic County. Any other discussion? Any public comment? Hearing none. Please call the roll.
Ballas?
Yes.
Martino?
Yes.
Corsi?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley?
Yes, please read number 56.
Emergency contract with Abel's Cleaning for emergency cleaning services at the Atlantic County Libraries and the Cronin Dental Center, amount not to exceed $55,620.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Corsi, second by Commissioner Gatto. Discussion?
Mr. Chair.
Just to highlight a discussion in our budget subcommittee on this one. So we awarded this contract to a different vendor. They've had some significant issues, so we terminated that contract. This vendor is who previously had the contract. They agreed to come in and take over the contract because we have to be cleaning these locations, and so that's what this is.
Very good. Commissioner Davis?
Yeah, when I first read the agenda, I was curious how many emergencies were happening at the library that they needed to be cleaned up.
Wow.
I did not, but now that I read the backup, I understand. But my question is why are the libraries and the dental center linked together? Is Abel's cleaning other county buildings, or who's doing that they weren't asked to bid on this?
That was just the way, normally we have a contract for cleaning through all our buildings.
Right.
The library and the just so you know, Rutgers runs that building. So we took those particulars, the library is a separate taxing district. And so we put the dental center with the separate taxing district, and we did that as one group. That's
And it is going to go back out to bid. It's just Abel's is filling in until we go through that process.
Right. I was also
Yeah.
curious why. I mean, Abel's was the only one that said they were asked.
Because they were the prior vendor.
Okay.
they're just doing the emergency.
Right.
Yeah.
Until
Yep.
it's cleared up.
Any other discussion? Public input? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Ballas?
Yes.
Martino?
Yes.
Corsi?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick? Yes. Gatto?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Grizzly?
Yes. Please read number 57.
Shared services agreements with various municipalities regarding use of a trailer-mounted attenuator and electronic arrow board on an as-needed basis, no cost.
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion on this resolution? Any public comment? Mr. Kreischer, would you like to say a few words for the record on this one?
This is something that's gonna benefit all the municipalities. They can borrow this piece of equipment that's not only protects the property, the truck, but also protects the lives of the work crew. So it's a very beneficial thing to the residents of Atlantic County.
And we're making it available to everyone in Atlantic County, all the cities in
Well,
Atlantic
there's
County.
some cities that participate,
Right, exactly.
some that choose not to.
Okay. Thank you. Any other discussion? Public comment? Please call the roll.
Ballas?
Yes.
Martino?
Yes.
Corsi?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Grizzly?
Yes, please read number 58.
Alternate method contract with Dr. Joseph Zerbo for medical services rendered to inmates at the Atlantic County Justice Facility, amount not to exceed $50,000.
Move.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Corsi, second by Commissioner Gatto. Discussion.
Mr. Chair, just from a budgeting perspective, I thought it was interesting conversation we had. This item as well as 59, these are both unexpected medical expenses due to condition or health conditions for particular inmates. So these are things that could or could not happen in a given year. We budget based on prior year history and trending. Sometimes we'll be above that, sometimes we'll be below it. We do build in contingency. But you know, these are some of the things that are unanticipated that we have to deal with. And I just wanted to highlight that, in terms of, you know, things we think about when we're budgeting.
Thank you. That's a good point. Good point. Any other discussion on number 58? Public input? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Ballas?
Yes.
Martino?
Yes.
Corsi?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Grizzly?
Yes. Please read number 59.
Alternate method contract with Capital Health for medical services rendered to inmates at the Atlantic County Justice Facility, amount not to exceed $50,000.
Move.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Corsi, second by Commissioner Gatto. Discussion? Hearing none. Any public input? Hearing none. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Forty?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley.
Yes. Please read number 60.
Resolution of support and to join with Atlantic City in applying to the New Jersey Department of Community Affairs for a local efficiency achievement program implementation grant to partially fund pothole repair equipment through a shared services agreement.
Motion.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Gatto, second by Commissioner Corsi. Discussion?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
just for the record, I want to commend our shared services coordinator, Mr. Mayor. He has been certainly a big fighter for not only Atlantic City, but other municipalities. And every morning, about the same time, as I sit in my vehicle, we have conversations about shared services. And he's always talked about this pothole truck and other municipalities to get involved. And anybody know about potholes, ride down Atlantic Avenue and we can show you some potholes. The fact of the matter is that we joke about it. But for the record, Atlantic City does have the money to repave these streets. However, it's a waste of money to pave streets and the infrastructure underneath has not been completed. So we are having some issues on Atlantic Avenue as various other streets in Atlantic City. Some of the issues are with the water company doing the infrastructure. We always hear the complaints of how bad the streets are. Hell, Atlantic streets ain't no worse than most places, but it's Atlantic City, so we get the headline no matter what. Whether it's coming from the politicians, coming from the residents, et cetera. But the money is there. Does it make sense? Even with a 5-year moratorium on it, folks find a way to go dig another hole and make the job worse. So we're hoping the temporary fix is to do the potholes, but the long-term goal is to continue to pave Atlantic Avenue and other streets in Atlantic City. This is a big help, not only to Atlantic City, but other municipalities. I mean, we ride around in all these uppity communities as well, and we see potholes. Yeah, because I mean, everybody try to make it look like it's Atlantic City with all the problems, and other municipalities have the same problem, but nobody never wants to identify them. I will call them out. I don't give a rat's tail what it costs, but the fact of the matter is that shared services is working on a lot of issues throughout Atlantic County in different municipalities. And so again, I can't thank you enough. Actually, you're doing a little bit more work than Frank Famika was doing. I mean, that's a big plus, but we appreciate what you're doing, really. And shared services is working again, as we talked about other stuff that we talked about, shared service, senior services, Meals on Wheels, a number of projects. So it works, not for everybody, but this is a welcome for all the municipalities. I think it was Ventnor Margate that participated. It's going to be Pleasantville, Green, Atlantic County government, and Margate is considering it. We don't expect too many potholes in Margate, do we? Sorry? There's not too many potholes in Margate, is it? You never know. But congratulations once again for all the work you put into getting this funded. If I can just add to it, this
Sure.
is a 500 on the state contracts, $532,000 piece of equipment. Lane City be put in for a LEAP grant. They've increased the cap to $400,000 this year. And for really unique projects, they may go to 500,000. So they may be able, they'll get at least 400,000 more likely. Correct. And the great thing about the piece of equipment, it's operated by one person that sits in the cab. It's all done hydraulically. So they'll all have to hear, why does it take 3 or 4 people to fix a pothole? This be one person fixes it in under 5 minutes. So it's not going to get the pothole fixed. It's going to save on labor. So it's a real nice piece of equipment. I want to thank you and congratulate Lane City for going into and the other cities.
And we appreciate your work. Yes,
Thank you.
absolutely. Any other discussion? Public comment? Hearing none. Roll call, please.
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Forty?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley.
Yes. Please read number 61.
Resolution accepting the donation of a fire truck from the Atlantic County Firefighters Association to be used for fire training at the Atlantic County Fire Academy.
Motion.
Moved by Commissioner Gatto, second by Commissioner Corsi. Any discussion?
Mr. Chair, this is from Minatola.
Right?
And Mr. Fedorko also let us know that Margate was going to be lending us another truck to be used for training, and that they would come and get, should a catastrophic event actually occur. So, pretty cool stuff.
Very good. Any other discussion? Any public comment? Did Mr. Fedorko want to comment? He's online.
We're very happy to have the truck. It's going to be a great addition to the fire academy here.
Okay, great. Thank you. Any other comment? Hearing none. Clerk, please call the roll.
Ballas?
Yes.
Martino?
Yes.
Coursey?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley.
Yes. Please read number 62.
Resolution authorizing Atlantic County to enter into a cooperative pricing system with the Camden County Educational Services Commission.
Motion.
Moved by Commissioner Gatto,
Second.
second by Commissioner Ballas. Any discussion? Hearing none. Any public comment? Hearing none. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Ballas?
Yes.
Martino?
Yes.
Coursey?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley.
Yes. Please read number 63.
Contract with Atlanticare for the Bridge Hospital Emergency Room Drug Rehabilitation Program, amount not to exceed $262,488.
Move.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Corsi, second by Commissioner Gatto. Discussion? Any public comment? Hearing none. Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Ballas?
Yes.
Martino?
Yes.
Coursey?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley.
Yes. Please read number 64.
Contract with the Atlantic County Sheriff's Office to provide transportation for Rides to Recovery, the Hope One project, amount not to exceed $22,950.64.
Motion.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Gatto, second by Commissioner Corsi. Any discussion on this resolution? Hearing none. Public comment. Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Ballas?
Yes.
Martino?
Yes.
Coursey?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley.
Yes, please read number 65.
Contract with Cape May County to provide public health oversight, amount not to exceed $33,000.
Motion.
Moved by Commissioner Gatto. Second by Commissioner Fortino. Discussion. Public comment. Oh, Commissioner Bowles.
Yeah, can you just get an explanation on? what that
Yeah,
is?
so we discussed it in subcommittee. So, the person, that we are looking to be our public health officer took the test, passed it. But unfortunately, had to score a certain score in a certain section of the test and came up short. So they are not able to, take on that role yet. So we need to have continued, oversight until they are able to be rescheduled to take the entire test again and hope that they score better in that section. The rules of the state of New Jersey.
Well, that's why we should bring somebody in that's qualified from the jump.
We would have to increase
Yeah, I know.
salary options.
No, we're increasing it
One way or the other.
every time we turn around.
Can I just ask, did this start this past October or the October before that
It was like the October before.
of 21?
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
a year.
But you gotta remember, see, again, we didn't hire her to be the public health officer. And if you want, I'll get into the difference between a division director and the public health officer. The division director has much more managerial and leadership requirements than the public health officer in most places. In our particular case, we want that person to be the public health officer. And I hate to say it, but there are other people that go take that test. It's a bear.
Mm-hmm.
I was explaining to the budget subcommittee yesterday. New Jersey is one of the few states, might be the only state that requires this licensing.
Mhm.
I don't know what to say. You gotta pass, and not only do you have to pass the test, then you gotta pass a section. There are 4 sections, and you gotta score a certain score in each section. If you don't, then they make you take the whole test again. I don't know what to say.
And it's not like they offer testing every day.
No, and I believe Kara told me that, they actually have I think they're gonna have a session now to take these, most of these applicants are failed. Coming up way. You get a certain score and you pass 70 or better, but you do not pass a certain section, you've got to take it all over again. So I think they're having some of those sessions now where you can go there and, get some exposure to, some of these issues.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
through you to the cap, so when's the next test scheduled?
It's in June.
In June?
Yes, normally it was in May, they moved it back to June now.
Try, keep our fingers crossed, she'll be fine.
Yeah.
How long
But
does this
you gotta
period
understand,
cover?
Till June 20.
she's still running the
3:30.
division, just remember that. And the division is a much larger, she has, I guess it's 4, she has environmental, it's community health, bioterrorism, planning, and then you have the substance abuse unit. They're all running very well, and that's important.
Should be
And,
fine.
and the need for his name is Kevin Thomas. Kevin's done a really good job. He does a real good job, obviously, in Cape May County, what Pat used to talk.
It just sucks that you gotta take the whole test over for one
That's
section.
what I asked, if she could just take a section again.
Any other discussion? You got any public comment? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Ballas,
Yes.
Martino,
Yes.
Corsi,
Yes.
Days,
Yes.
Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
Gatto,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Ridley.
Yeah. We have a number of appointments, number 66 through number 72 resolutions. I'll entertain a motion to buy and adopt these. Thank you. Is there anyone online who is serving on one of these committees? I understand that a gentleman by the name of Brian Middleton, who's going to be serving on the Atlantic County Fire Training Advisory Board, is online, and if he is, I welcome him, and we certainly appreciate all those who give their time to serve on these various committees for our county. Any further discussion on the appointments? Hearing none. Roll call, please.
Public
Excuse me?
comment.
Public comment. Hearing none. Roll call.
Ballas,
Yes.
Martino,
Yes.
Corsi,
Yes.
Days,
Yes.
Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
Gatto,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Ridley.
Yes. Number 73, a roadway solicitation.
Authorizing consent for a roadway solicitation event by Absecon PTO at the intersection of Mill Road, County Route 651, and New Jersey Avenue, County Route 601, in the city of Absecon on Saturday, April 1, 2023, and Sunday, April 2nd, 2023, from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Gatto, seconded by Commissioner Daves. Thank you. Discussion? Public comment? Hearing none. Call the roll.
Ballas,
Yes.
Martino,
Yes.
Corsi,
Yes.
Days,
Yes.
Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
Gatto,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Ridley.
Yes. Reports to special committees of the board. Anyone like to report on anything?
Sure, I have just a little bit to
Parker, go ahead.
report on. We spoke a lot about the library, so I wanted to add that we've approved to add 10 more hotspots, and that's why I was asking if that was the money that was going to pay for it, the Equal Connectivity Fund. As of December 8th, when they checked, the Atlantic County Library System hotspots circulated 438 times, which is excellent. And there's only a hold of 17. So it's going really well with the hotspots. So excited to have more added to our library system. Also for the library, construction project on Farragut Avenue has been completed. And for the Absecon Library, I want to thank the Absecon councilman and their administrator. We put in a request for ADA compliant doors that they did not have, and those have been ordered since. So I wanted to put on record and say thank you to them for that and their help getting that done. Let's see. Also from the library, as of January 1st, 2023, we raised our minimum wage. I believe, Jerry, in the county, we raised it to $15 an hour. We didn't wait for the 14. It raised to 14 and we raised to 15. Is that correct? And so they wanted to say thank you for that, because a lot of employees from our library system, as you know, were affected in that increase. So I wanted to put that out there. We have Beth Bliss from Brigantine branch manager of the library, will be retiring effective March 1st. We did do an internal posting of which no one has either been eligible or interested. So we are looking to do an outside posting now for a branch manager position in Brigantine. And I just want to say that some of the similar issues that they're having with branch managers, that they're having with their branch managers, is a similar issue that we're having with, that we just discussed with the testing and getting the requirements. And it's a tough thing to ask someone to go get a license and take a program for a position that maybe doesn't have that return on ROI, return of investment on it. So that's a struggle that we're having with our branch managers. I don't know what we're going to do in order to fix that, but hopefully someone will show up. I want to congratulate our new chair of the Library Advisory Committee, Glenn Mulvey, and Vice Chair Sue Marks. And also I want to inform everybody that there's a new North Star online learning module for the library. And I just tell you what that is. That's a free service that the library is providing. It's up on their website now. If you want to learn or improve your computer and digital literacy skills with free access to the North Star online learning offered with support from the New Jersey State Library. You can take classes up to essential computer skills, learning basic computer skills, internet, email, Windows OS, Mac OS, also essential software skills, Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Google Docs, using technology in daily life, social media, information literacy, career search skills, accessing telehealth appointments, supporting K-12 distance learning, and all of those things are offered now for free on our website, our library's website. So anyone interested in those things, what else did I have here? For our Parks and Environment, just switching over just a second here to Parks and Environment Advisory Board, I wanted to thank Deputy Mayor Richard Cheek and also Aaron Crean, the Community Development Director, for coming to our last advisory meeting, and they gave an update on the Bike Path West project. So I wanted to thank them for coming out for that. The Bike Path West, just so you know, the holdup with that is in Hamilton Township. They've applied for a grant. We're waiting to hear back for that grant. From that grant, I think it's a $1.5 million grant that they applied for, and they're waiting to hear back. But I think that's something that'll be a very positive project for that area, not just for Hamilton Township, but also for Atlantic County, if we can see that. It's about the trestle. Well, the trestle bridge, the 1.5 million is actually for the trestle, for the repair of the trestle. And then we would have to seek maybe additional funds, and maybe the county can some way help out, because I know we own a portion of that property over there.
We do own it. Hamilton's doing us a favor.
Absolutely. So I'm hoping that we can actually get that project done at some point in time. If they can be approved for that 1.5 million to prepare the trestle, then that surrounding area may be something that, you know, just think about having a bike path that goes all the way from the shore all the way to Philadelphia, and the kind of events that we can then have. And that's right there on waterfront property as well. So that would be nice. I know that they're not looking to approve for major vehicles. So no cars, no trucks, no major vehicles. It'd be bikes. And I think the For emergency vehicles, you may be able to take like a low-speed vehicle, some sort of golf cart or something like that to get out there. So I think it's an excellent project that they've been working on for years, and we're close, and hopefully that goes well.
It's certainly a dream of mine because I can remember being at the dedication of the bike path that started at what we used to call Searstown.
Hmm.
And the overall plan was to extend it. It's a great thing. I just hope that it certainly comes about for us.
That area is so rich in history, which I did not know before, with some of the motor vehicle, the train crash that happened out there. There's so much history that's in that area that we could look to preserve as well. I just think it's a good project for the county, and I think it's a win for everyone. So
And I do owe you, Commissioner. I know I mentioned there is a Green Acres grant, Jerry. I think I sent an email that would apply to that area for recreation, preservation of natural resource, frontage, things like that. I think we should take a look at it. So I do owe you an email on that, and I'll send you a more detailed email on it.
I mean, just to embellish this, so the Hamilton agreed to do that section in there where the old train station was.
yes,
Across the trestle. They're tying that into the bike path within Hamilton Township. The bikeway west is all tied up with the South Jersey Planning Transportation Organization, SJTPO. They're doing a study on, I guess it's Camden, Gloucester, Cumberland, and us, and Atlantic, to tie in all the bike paths within those 5 counties.
Right.
So that's what we're waiting for, that final study to come out, and that would determine, and if there's monies available
and we
through
could
federal
help at that point.
resources to take the bike path from, will be Hamilton or Mays Landing all the way out to, in this particular case, it cuts across where Folsom is.
Right.
So we would pick up the other counties.
Because to my understanding, speaking with Camden County, they've already approved to connect up to Hamilton Township
Yeah.
to come all the way up. So they're already ready to roll as soon as the study comes back.
Right, exactly.
That is feasible, or they're ready to roll. So this will be an amazing project for our county. I think economic development as well. I know that's a big one for you.
Yeah.
I just the Main Street's right across. It's not that far. The Hamilton Township's Main Street. There's just so much that we can do in that area to help the county. For people that are traveling, as we know, we're seasonal down here in Atlantic County. So a lot of folks are traveling in to go to Atlantic City, to your point. So I don't look down upon Atlantic City at all, Commissioner. Of course, there's a lot of money that we use to operate is coming out of Atlantic City. So, I'm not talking down about Atlantic Avenue or the potholes or any of that stuff. So as they're coming into Atlantic City, to give people something else to go to like that, I think it's just a positive, because it'll help the local, our local economy as well, our local small businesses as well, just to, have something like that that's available.
Thank you. That was a good discussion. Thank you.
You don't get to talk this much in school. That's what he shut up.
I don't. My kids don't allow it. My students won't allow it.
Only time he gets to talk, he said when he comes in.
Any other committee reports? Commissioner Ballas?
Yes, sir. So, Veterans Advisory Board, and I'm sure Commissioner Dees is aware of it also, in Galloway / Port Republic, there's a place called the Bowling Cemetery. It's a historic cemetery, and where Black soldiers are buried. It's been kind of run down. County's been basically taking care of it, although it seems as though it's the property of Port Republic. Veterans Advisory Board is working with the county, putting a historic marker there. Are you familiar with that, Jerry?
Yeah, I've seen these red
Sign, right? And last we're hearing is that you got to get permission from Port Republic.
Just one thing, we found it, Port never took it, it's the Smithfield Development Corporation, just so, we went through that with Mayor Nikki.
Oh, okay.
We called and she said they decided, I guess, not to take it at the time. When her husband was there, he was going to take the property. They didn't take the property, so it belongs to the Smith Home Corporation.
So, well, my suggestion was that, we speak with, the county. I spoke with, the executive to use open space money and Green Acres money to purchase that. The county already maintains it. But in order to do something like fix the fencing that's there that goes into disrepair, it's going to be, this thing will get national recognition because of, what it's about. I think it would be a nice feather in the county's cap to make that, clean it up, put a nice wrought iron fence around it, put the marker out there, and honor them soldiers that fought for this country, especially like you said with the marker that's going to go out there, the historic marker. And I think the only way really of doing it and doing it right is by the county taking possession of that, by purchasing it from whether it's Smithville or whether it's from, I think part of it's in Galloway, part of it's in Puerto Rico. Who knows that? For anyone that doesn't know where it is, it's right there at Moss Mill and Pomona Road.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
that's the intersection I've been trying to have repaired for
Great.
quite a while.
So if that's something that we can look into,
Yeah.
I think we might have a penny or two in the open space fund, right? So maybe we can.
You talked to
Maybe
the
we
exec
move
about
forward.
that?
I talked to him about it. I talked about it over the holidays on, I guess on an unofficial.
Okay,
Um,
okay.
But I didn't go up to his office to talk to him about it. So if you can forward that
All
up
right, I will.
and, remind him, maybe that's something that if you think that's possible to have that done, I think that would probably be the best way of handling that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner Fitzpatrick?
Thank you, Chairman. I have 2 items.
Good.
Okay, so the first one is I attended the Human Services Advisory Council meeting yesterday. It was a really good meeting. They've identified issues in the county regarding social services as funding levels, availability of services, sharing communication between service agencies, and other gaps in service. So the meeting yesterday was a presentation by a company called Unite Us. And what they provide is a database system where social service agencies join up, and there is electronic matching of people with services. It eliminates duplication of services, make sure there's no gap in services. I was trying to think of what I could make an analogy of, and it's like electronic medical records, how everything's electronic now. And so if you go to Atlantic Care, but you had a prescription from CVS, Atlantic Care knows it because it's all in the your electronic medical records. Sorry about that. So that's what this is, and I would assume it's going to come before us at some point if they choose to use it to approve the spending. And I think that I was very impressed. I think that it would be a good spend for the people of Atlantic County, and a smart spend because there would not be duplication of services. It would be very efficient, and our people would get the care that they need. Partners include the food bank, homeless shelters, housing, domestic violence, any medical, of course. And I just thought it was a really great presentation. So that's number one. Number two, and it's like karma here today, because at the last Southern New Jersey County Commissioners meeting, one of the commissioners from Burlington County.
Which you are the new chair, by the way.
Yes, I am. Thank you, Robert.
Right.
That's not what this is about. One of the other commissioners from Burlington County was talking about their marketing department. And Commissioner Gatto said, marketing department, interesting. And I had mentioned to Jerry some months ago, maybe, talking about social media coordinator for the county. A young person who is a digital native to coordinate Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff for the county. And, all that's really good talking about it. But then I was cleaning out some papers this weekend and I found the Angelou Economics Report. Remember?
Certainly.
Okay. And in this report, right there, I opened right to it, they talk about creating a countywide marketing tourism department, which would market things in Port Republic and market things in Hamilton Township, because the only marketing that's going on right now is for Atlantic City. And that's a wonderful thing. But we have a very interesting county with a lot to offer, but we have to advertise it. We have to market it to get people to come here, and come they will. Through my job, I belong to an organization, several organizations nationwide. A majority of the 3,000 counties in this country have marketing departments. And I think that is something that would really benefit this county.
Totally agree.
And that is
Couldn't
it.
agree with you more.
Absolutely,
Wow,
absolutely,
nice.
absolutely.
So,
Any other committee reports? Hearing none. Unfinished business. Anything under unfinished business? If not, new business. I just have one item, topic. There's going to be a letter that Mr. Kreischer knows about that's going out, and the county exec is going out to the towns in Atlantic County, asking them for their support for a LEAP grant that will provide monies to do a study on centralized dispatch for fire and EMS, limiting it to fire and EMS. This is an important topic because I've been hearing about this from firemen and other people for many, many, many years. And as you know, we tried to do something along those lines years ago, but it was too draconian, I believe. And this proposal does not include police, it just includes fire and EMS. And we're hoping that the various cities in the county all sign on to support our application for the grant. That's all they're doing at this point, to be very clear. They're not approving a program or joining anything. We just want their support to apply for this grant so we can do a study and get into the facts and figures and see how we can make this a reality here in Atlantic County. Anybody else have any items to do, Mr.
Chair. I guess they probably fall under old business. Jerry, just going back to EHT with the fire signals, are we anywhere on that? I continue to get phone calls on that.
Yeah, they're out to bid. I mean.
They go out to bid?
They have to bid, yeah.
Okay, so what are we looking for the bid to come back, or?
I'm probably within the next 4 weeks or so, I would think.
So we could actually do,
I'll rate
we could
everybody,
be
give you a
awarding,
date, yeah.
we could be awarding something in the near future?
Yeah, they should be done, hopefully they'll be done by midsummer. I think that everything will be done.
So design phase, all that's done, went out to bid, and
Yeah.
we're just
everybody
waiting now to award the contract to somebody
That's it.
after the bids and plan it. Okay.
I'll give you dates. Give you dates.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Just going back to
Sure.
the letter you just mentioned, we did ask at the budget meeting that a copy be sent to all the commissioners, and it is in your inbox, so that you'll see it. So thanks for sending it.
We also just want to inform everyone, I did attend the reorganization in New Jersey County Commissioners, NJAC reorg in Trenton. I did that. Regarding the South Jersey Economic Development District, I'm again chairman of that and the secretary treasurer of the SJTPO. I'm attending all the mayor's meetings and any other meetings that we have here in the county. And I understand the township officials organization is resurrecting itself, and they're going to have their first meeting on Friday. So I plan to attend that as well. That pretty much completes my report. Anyone else? Okay. Any written communications, petitions? If Not, well,
Mr. Chairman,
yes,
if I may,
you may.
need to have my colleagues to endure for a few minutes. I'm very disturbed. I don't know if many of you have heard or seen anything in the media regarding the racial issues at Atlantic Cape Community College. Apparently, there has been some serious issues and has been raised. It's been a posting put out there where someone on the staff of ACCC had set up a meeting. Actually, it was two meetings. First meeting was if you're African American, Hispanic, Asian American, Pacific Indian, etc., your meeting is on this particular day. And if you were none of those, you were on another day. So basically, there was a meeting of Black and brown people, and then it was a meeting of white folks. Apparently, I'm told that the president of the college got wind of it and pulled that particular meeting. The question I have is, how in the hell does anybody in that circle is allowed to put out a memo like that? And then once it gets out there, you try to retract it. So the issue is that serious at ACC, and there's racial issues going on. There's three of us on this commission to serve on that board. I don't know if any of y'all gotten anything. I didn't, but I seen the posting. I seen the posting where the president of the college had that meeting canceled. So it seriously tells me that there's some issues going on, and folks are either trying to brush it under the rug, or how do you separate meetings? If it's a racial issue, you tell white folks you come to this meeting, and you tell everybody else you come to this meeting. If it's an issue, everybody come in the same room. Let's deal with the issue at hand. You don't start separating. It's because you continue the process getting worse, right? I would think. So I'm a little taken back that we're hearing it in the media. I got a call from another man from another town, asked me. I was taken back too. I'm a little disappointed because, again, whether it was the president of the college, chief, or whoever, should have at least notified us that there's a problem. And I don't know, Jerry, if you heard about it or heard anything about going on at ACCC. We need to address it. We probably need to meet. A committee of education probably need to have a meeting with the staffing at the college. We're not going to have it. We're not going to tolerate it, no matter who put it out. And if a staffer was allowed to put that type of letter out, what discipline has been taken by the president of the college and others to that employee? You don't separate. Matter of fact, you make the matter worse. And so, again, I don't know if you're aware of it. I think it's on my other phone. I would more than certainly send you a copy of it, and I'll send it to the members here. I was like taken back. It was a long article. There was a letter in there from the president of the college, basically, just sending the letter and calling that meeting off. But it tells me there's a problem with it. So if it's a problem, as commissioners and all the funding is said that we put into that college, we need to address that issue too.
So the executive got that notice. So the executive called the person who put it out and expressed his unhappiness. And then he called the president of the college and expressed his unhappiness in no uncertain terms, told him it's to be canceled. And we called and asked what generated that.
Correct.
And so,
So what in the hell come from?
I gotta be honest with you, I'm not sure I quite understood the answer. I gotta be honest with you. They did a questionnaire. And so I'm not sure how it got generated. I just can tell you that the exec was extremely unhappy. And he told them it will be canceled. You're not to run them. What are we doing here? So I'm telling you. So I'm assuming there'll be further conversations about this with them, why that even got generated. But I can tell you he's very unhappy.
Jerry, Chairman, again, through
Go
you
ahead.
to
Go ahead.
it is heartbreaking in that the county executive got it. You got it.
Yeah.
I've got a copy of it. Hell, most of my colleagues know none of it looking at it, they're dumb and stupid. They don't know what the hell's going on. That's a reflection on all of us, right?
Yep.
And so at the end of the day, here it is 2023, and we still talk about the same bullshit, right? How the hell did we get, how?
Was this meeting put out by a
staffer.
Staff member?
I am told a staff member
Was a step.
set up a meeting for 2 different days. And my question is, Who authorized it,
Exactly.
Mr. Chairman?
Exactly.
Did the president know about it of the college and did nothing, or the president, it was out before they knew? It ain't but a small group of people on the what do you call it, in the cabinet.
Board of Trustees.
Right, so somebody has to be held accountable, right?
Can I ask a question?
But not to say anything. And Jerry, I'm glad that you tell me the county exec as well,
And-
reached out to the college.
Yes, the president of the college, when Denny questioned her about, it, she was did not know that this was going on. And so when he called.
Who in the hell was man in the storefront?
He called the person who put it out. He called an aunt who put it out, called that person. Told them they're retracting it, then called the president and said, you're retracting these meetings.
So my next question, I'm glad you answered that, and I didn't mean to cut you off. If the president didn't know about it, what actions is being taken on the employee who put it out? And if they're, again, even getting beyond that point, if there's an issue over there, we need to be addressing it, right? Collectively. But again, there's three of us who sit on the committee over there, and we don't know about it.
Well, let me suggest this. I intend to be there Thursday for the ribbon cutting. If you'd like to join me, we can certainly have a private chat with the president.
We can have that chat, but it's gonna be more than a chat, Mr. Chairman.
We'll have a chat with
Because
the president.
and you know, we can laugh and joke about some things. Some things you ain't sweeping under the rug, right? And it's getting out little by little by little by little. So it's an issue.
Well,
And
Ask a
if I-
question.
Sure.
I'm sorry.
I just want to know, did anybody find out what the purpose of the meeting was? Was it students? Was it staff?
They said they had done a questionnaire. And the questionnaire indicated that there should be discussions among staff. And I guess the interpretation of that was the person in human resources decided to separate the faculty.
What are we gonna have next? Different religions separated?
Well,
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
saying, was it a focus group of some sort?
Yeah.
We don't know.
If I can, Mr. Chair, I mean, I understand you guys are gonna go have possibly a little chat. I mean, frankly, I think it needs to be a board school estimates meeting called immediately. Because we're the ones who approve their funding. And I think they need to provide, number one,
Gotta get
some
the facts.
information, because I don't really know anything about
I
this.
don't either.
And I'm on the board of school estimates. And number two, what happened? What was done? And how do we ensure something like this, if it shouldn't have happened, doesn't happen again?
We gotta get the facts.
So I would ask that we call, I think, are you the chair of the board of school estimates?
I may get that.
I would ask that we call a formal
We can.
meeting. Because that would
You-
include Cape May County as well.
There is, I thought there was a date set up for.
There is.
estimates, Right?
There is.
Is it there? Is
There's a
there
date set up.
Is it like March or something?
Something like that, yeah.
Well, we're not gonna wait till March.
I'm sorry.
We can't wait till March.
I'm not suggesting you wait long. I'm merely saying that there was one already called.
Okay,
There
well,
was- there
let's
wasn't
move
one
it up.
school estimate.
I mean,
That meeting is to talk about their budget. and stuff.
Yeah,
That ain't to
yeah.
talk about this
yeah,
issue.
yeah, yeah.
Do this
Correct.
before the budget.
You're correct.
Do your meeting now before the
But
budget.
first,
We approve more.
Hopefully, we're gonna find out a whole lot more Thursday. Get the
Well,
facts.
so are you gonna have an informal meeting or are we gonna have a formal meeting?
I'm
I think
having
we're gonna
an
have a formal meeting,
first.
but
It should be a formal meeting.
I
we
think
can
it
do
should
it
be
informal, but I mean, what we don't want is, let me speak for myself. What I don't want is lip service, right? I don't want you telling me, the chairman, one thing, and then you go tell us, we all on that committee, we're gonna get the same information. Because your answers and questions may be different than mine, right? Piecemeal is not gonna solve the issue. But we need to make sure there's a level of comfort for kids, students that go into ACC are not caught up in some BS, right? It ain't like the Roman over there is breaking down doors to get in. We fighting to get people into college. Last thing we want to do is turn them away, right? So we need to address that issue. And so again, if it was for staffers on one side of the aisle and their staffers on the other side, that's unacceptable too. So it tells me that there's an issue, and we need to address it.
Yeah.
And I'm glad to hear that the county exec made a call too.
Chairman, if I may,
Yes.
through you to
Commissioner Park.
Commissioner Corsi, I did hear about it as well, and I am equally disturbed at what I heard. I think for good of the orders, though, maybe at a ribbon cutting is not the most appropriate time to hash this out. You know, and I'll be there as well.
After the ribbon cutting.
Maybe a light conversation at I'm not saying don't bring it up,
Right.
but I'm just saying maybe that's not the appropriate time. And to Commissioner Corsi's point, you know, if we're going to have a meeting anyway, if we're going to schedule a meeting anyway for school estimates, whatever, then do it there. Let it be there in front of everyone, and then let the minutes be reflected. And someone's taking minutes, and so whatever anybody says is,
But the
it's
Board of
in the
School
minutes.
Estimates meeting is really concerning about the budget.
Well, that's the one in March.
Well, yeah.
If we're going to have, if there's
That
going to
doesn't
be
mean we can't discuss it.
No, we can't.
right, if there's going to be another meeting called sooner to deal with this issue, then maybe that's the more appropriate place and time to deal with it, as opposed to at a ribbon cutting.
Right.
Correct.
I guess
I just, you know, I don't want
We don't need
I
to
don't
delay.
want we don't want to delay it, but I don't want our county school, I don't want the commissioners, I just don't want to see us out in the public. That's a ribbon cutting is a celebration of something,
Yeah.
you know, and so I don't want to.
Yeah, hell, on one hand, you're celebrating something, on the other hand, you're hiding something.
Well,
Yeah,
Absolutely.
you can't have it both damn ways.
Absolutely, but I don't want another black eye on us because we do something in the public eye. Maybe I don't know I don't know what we're going to encounter. I don't know what the answer is
We're
going
gonna
to be. I don't know what the answer is going to be at
We're
that
gonna
moment. You understand? But I think it needs to be dealt with. But maybe that's not the right venue for it.
I gotta calm down before I have a conversation with anybody.
That's you see my point. So, and I know we're all going to be a little bit higher tempered, I guess. And so I don't know that we want to do that at a ribbon cut.
My personal opinion, and I'm done with it for now. My personal opinion should have been, President of the college should at least notify the Board of Commissioners that there's been an issue have arrived, right? Would have put us not blindside. So now we all getting different information. What's the, my side, your side, and the damn truth, right? It
Commissioner,
just looks bad.
Commissioner Corsi, I'm disappointed that I'm hearing that the president didn't even know before it went out. So we have all kind of.
At least that's what I'm told.
We have all kind of communication issues going on right
At
now.
least that's what we
We
told.
don't know.
That's what we've been told. And I heard through the grapevine, I didn't hear it from some official email that came to my commissioner's email. I heard it the way you heard it. I found out the way you heard it from outside. So if I wasn't, involved in those conversations outside of my commissioner duties, I wouldn't know what you were talking about sitting here today. So no one informed me. Well, other than,
So Chairman, through you, I want to put that on the record.
I understand.
And we're gonna address it ASAP. And I'm again glad to hear that the county executive reached out and made sure his unsatisfaction and unpleased with it has been noted. And I'm sure, I can't speak for my other 8 colleagues, but I'm sure that they have some of the similar reactions as well. And it needs to be addressed, right? And see where it goes. It's gonna lead to somewhere. And if some heads have to be twisted, twist them.
We need to have communication.
There was communication, but communication with a group of folks. And that might not have been the right group of folks to have that conversation with, right? You're gonna meet with the Falcony on one side, you have this group of people on the other side, that's in-house internal, right? We catching it on the outside. Makes us look like jackasses. Like, y'all don't know, y'all approve them, it's y'all college, blah, blah. No, they'll say it's our college, but the point is, we get the blame. If it's good, we don't get no credit. If it's messed up, we get all beat up about it.
that's right.
That's
That's right.
The old boys used to say,
That's right.
you could do 99 things, right? The 100 thing, they never forgive you.
I'm starting to get used to that part. I'm starting.
I'm
Anything else?
I'm gonna go to the order.
Excuse me, yeah, from the good of the order.
Well, for good of the
Good
order.
public comments. All right, I'll open the meeting up now for any public comment on any topic. Anyone online? No? All right. If there's no comments, public comments, we'll move on to good of the order.
Good of the order, I would like to wish everyone a happy Black History Month. And in light of everything that we heard today, I think that this passion that we're hearing, and the the disappointment that we're hearing shows how far we've come. And it just shows that we still have a lot more work to do. So I'm just wish everybody a happy Black History Month, and utilize each day to try to learn something more. I try to do that with my students every year, where I will highlight someone in history that's kind of unsung, not the, average, the ones that everyone knows, the most popular Black history figures, because there's so many of our Black and brown citizens that have made such an impact on our country that never got recorded into the history books because of some very tough times that they excelled, and when they were making their impact, it was at a time period when, people were just changing the names or not writing them in history or rewriting history in their own way. So what I try to do is, look for those kind of unsung, spoken, and there's so many out there. There's so many out there. I have some of my students who educate me on things. They'll come to me and like, Mr. Parker, what did you hear about? And I'm like, I had no idea about this person until one of my students brings it to me. So there's always so many more. And now we have the internet, so it's easy to Google. And so I just wish everybody a happy Black History Month, and hopefully, prayerfully, it'll be a peaceful month, and we'll all be able to celebrate this. And that's all I have.
Mr. Chair, I just want to mention, I mentioned this at our last commissioner meeting, but on Saturday morning, the Brigantine is hosting a community hearing on the windmills at 11 o'clock at the Brigantine Community School. I just wanted to announce that because I did mention it the other day. And the follow-up, do you know the history of the Pomona Golf Course?
I do not know the history.
The first African-American millionaires in the country. She founded it as Apex Country Club. She owned a lot of beauty salons across the country. So I'll send you her name.
There you go.
Her name
Right
is
there.
Kay Williams was her name.
Kay Williams.
Founder of the Pomona Golf Course.
Anyone else under the good of the order?
Mr. Chair? Yeah, so I see Mr. Dovey and his board here. Is there a reason or any presentation? Are we missing something?
Not that I'm aware of now.
Okay.
Commissioner Ballas, I would like to take this opportunity to introduce the incoming president for the ACA.
Absolutely.
Please, absolutely, please.
Hey, you waited much longer. I'd be ready to have that. I'm just here enjoying the
So
meeting.
we have a couple of people from our leadership here tonight, but Linda Bazemore, Vice President of Administration and Finance, and our CFO. Gary Conover is the new Vice President of Solid Waste. He replaced Brian Lefke, who retired at the end of January. And Matt D'Onofrio, I hope you get to know him, who has worked for the ACWA for 15 years, was selected by the board last month to be the president. So, thanks.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
Before we, if I may just put that on, before we leave out of here today, if we can exchange numbers, I look forward to having many conversations with you in the near future. Absolutely appreciate that.
Thank you. Anything else under the good of the order?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
as we all know, Sunday is going to be a busy day. Go Eagles.
Go Birds.
And, Amy, I'll see you on
in
TV.
Arizona.
Can we pass an honorary resolution supporting the Eagles?
I think we should.
I think we should
Wait
too.
for the parade.
Oh,
We'll definitely support them at the parade.
I make a motion, we support the Philadelphia Eagles and their bid for the Vince Lombardi Trophy.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded.
It's as close to a home team as we have.
All in favor, say aye.
Ah.
We need a Dallas family something.
So the name, Mr. Chairman, we had it incorrect. It was Sarah Spencer Washington. Yes, that's her name.
Yeah, it was
So what is it?
So noted. Nothing else, I entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Rich.
Opposed?